I knew your dream ticket has come to Duel Links, but what are we gonna spend it on? Don't forget you can use it to help finish off some of your decks. But here are the top 10 cards you should spend your dream ticket on. At number 10 we have Ningirsu, the World Chalice Warrior. I bet a lot of you didn't expect to see this here, and you probably want to know why Team 6K thinks this deserves to be at number 10. Recently in Duel Links we got a new card Lunalights can summon that is both indestructible and untargetable, and while of course every deck has a way to get rid of indestructible cards and a way to get rid of untargetable cards, there are only a handful of decks that are able to do both in the same card. If you happen to be playing a strategy that can take advantage of link monsters, then Ningirsu is a fantastic way to deal with these kinds of monsters, as it doesn't target and it doesn't destroy, it just sends an opponent's card to the graveyard. There will be formats where this kind of effect isn't necessary, but having this card in your collection is going to mean that whenever a boss monster like that is running around, you'll be ready. Just keep in mind that it requires 2 or more link monsters as material, so you'll want to use 2 link 2s or a link 2 and a link 1. At number 9 we have something that's on this list for a similar reason as Ningirsu, and that's Borrowload Dragon. Borrowload Dragon can't be targeted by monster effects and can quick effect reduce monsters' attack stats in a way that can't be responded to. These are definitely going to be important, but the most important thing is that when this card attacks a monster, it can take control of that monster without targeting it and putting it into a zone that it points to, and instead of giving it back to the opponent, it'll go to their grave on their next end phase. The fact that this doesn't target or destroy makes it a good way to get rid of monsters that you would otherwise have trouble with, but you will need a deck that is capable of summoning a link 4 to take advantage of this. Just like Ningirsu, there will be formats where it isn't that important to run this, but when the time comes that this is needed again, you will be ready for it. At number 8 is number 106, Giant Hand. It is one of the best rank 4s you can own in Duel Links, and since so many decks can go into rank 4 Xyz, every player should own all of the best rank 4s. This one has the quick effect to negate a monster on the field in response to a monster's effect. If you use this at the right time, it can really do a lot to protect you. You'll be summoning this in any duel that you believe Abyss Dweller or Steel Swarm Roach won't be that useful, because while this card isn't as powerful of those, it is more versatile. Our number 7 pick is Needle Sealing. If at least 4 monsters are on the field, destroy all monsters. Despite this card also destroying your own monsters, this card is pretty popular to help deal with the opponent's onslaught. It can be used to interrupt them in the middle of their plays, and it can be used to break their board after they've established it. You'll want to play this in a deck that can easily reassemble its own board after using this, or in a deck that can protect its own monsters from destruction. In a deck like that, this card just destroys the opponent's whole field on their own turn without any downside. And number 6 is Warning Point. When a monster is summoned, you negate it, stop it from attacking, and stop it from being used as an extra deck material. So now that they've got a whole monster on the field that is doing nothing for them, and if you use this at the right time, you might just force the opponent to end their turn without being able to set up a good defense. Number 5 is Abyss Dweller. It has the quick effect to detach a material to prevent the opponent from using any grave effects for the rest of this turn. If you're really annoyed by Orchist or Rockets or D-Heroes or Salamangrates, or really a huge amount of decks in the game that use grave effects, then summoning this will help you to shut them down and might be enough to help you win the game. Next up is Nightmare Unicorn. This is a card that fits into so many decks, even decks that aren't really trying to link summon, just because its effect is so handy at helping you break through certain boards. On summon, it discards a card to shuffle a card from the field into the deck, so it doesn't destroy the card it targets, so it will play around destruction protection, and it doesn't send it to the grave, so it will play around graveyard benefits and shenanigans. It isn't the easiest for every deck to summon, but having it available in a tight situation is better than not having it when you really need it. The top 3 entries on this list are cards that every player should own 3 copies of at some point, regardless of what kinds of decks they want to play, because these cards are going to be put in the vast majority of their decks. Number 3 is Forbidden Lance, and number 2 is Cosmic Cyclone. I'm mentioning them together because they're kind of like the 2 different options when it comes to anti-back row cards in dueling. You'd play Lance in a combo deck that needs to be able to play through back row to get their field set up so that they can win from there, and Cosmic Cyclone is for every deck other than that kind of deck. You will want to pick up 3 of each at some point so that you are able to put the right one in the decks you want to make. Before we get into our number 1 pick, I do have some honorable mentions here. I think that these are all splendid choices. I just think that they aren't as good as the ones on this list. Breakthrough Skill, DD Crow, Artifact Lancia, Decode Talker, Pot of Duality, Trishula Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier, Stardust Warrior, and Brionac Dragon of the Ice Barrier. With that out of the way, let's get into our number 1 pick. The number 1 best card that you should spend your UR Dream ticket on is Book of Moon. This card, ever since its release, has almost always been the best card in the game. The simple effect to flip a monster face down is the most versatile effect in the game, as it can be used to stop attacks, it can be used to prevent the opponent's monsters from using their ignition effects, it can be used to prevent the opponent's monsters from being used as Synchro Xyz or Link material, and really the list of the uses this card has goes on, and that's why it's the most popular card in the game and the number 1 pick for what you should use your UR Dream ticket on. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope that it has been of some help to you. If you like the video, then slap like now, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell to get notified every time we make a new video. If you like this kind of video, be sure to let us know in the comments so we know if you want to see more of them. Let us know what you spent your dream ticket on and why. Have yourselves a good week, and I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast.